I'm Illinois, and Josh Parks asked the question, who are the top 3 point shooters of all time? And here is his list 1 through 10. Steph Curry, number one. Then Ray Allen, Klay Thompson, Larry Bird, Mark Price, Glenn Rice, John Stockton, Reggie Miller, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki. So that's the top 10 he came up with. So he wanted to know my thoughts on the top 3 point shooters of all time. Honestly, I've never given it a thought because basketball was never about 3 point shooting during my time of watching NBA. So, for those of you that don't know, there was no such thing as a 3 point shot until the 1979 1980 season. And the NCAA didn't implement a 3 point shot line until 1986. So, the NBA was around for a very long time and had some really good shooters before the 1979 1980 season. So, what would the great shooters of the time period before this, what would they have done if they would have had a 3 point line? Who knows? So, just so we understand, before the 1979 1980 season, there was no such thing as a 3 point line. So when people shot shots from long range, they only got 2 points. So imagine that. All right. Steph Curry. He's usually everyone's number one. So let's take a look at Steph Curry real quick. 3 point attempts 11, 9.8, 11.7, 9.8, 10, 11.2, 8, 7, 7. All right. In today's NBA, this can happen. There's opportunity to shoot three, and it's a focal point. It is something that teams, coaches, and players focus on. There are more 3 point shots taken in 1 month in the NBA than there would have been in maybe the entire year of NBA in the past. Not until around 2012, around this time, that's when everyone started shooting the 3 point shot. It blew up. Big men were shooting threes. Everybody shoots threes. It's a different NBA. Up to this point, the NBA was all about the big guys, the centers, the power forwards, bigs on bigs. That's what it was about. And then you had maybe a couple 3 point shots taken here and there. But it was about the post game, the bigs, the driving to the rim. Now it's completely transformed into a guard league where everybody's shooting threes. How much? Let's take a look. So, Steph Curry. This is amazing right here. This really will show you something. So, his dad, Del Curry, is his dad. His dad can shoot the ball, as we will see. His dad he took 2.9 3 point shots a game. Just two. His highest was five, um, 94, 95, 90, 95, 96. Which taking 5 3 pointers in one game, that's high. I mean, that's really high. And he shot over 40%. So for his career, he averaged 2.9 3 points a game. And he shot 40%. So we look at the number of games he played. He played in 1,083 games, and he took 3 point attempts 3,098. All right, and that took him 13, 14, 15, 16 years. In 16 years, he took 3,098 3 point shots. In 16 years, his son has shot 6,210 in only 740 games. let's look at this again. 1,083 games, 3,098. His son, 740 games, 6,210. Look at the difference. That is insane. So when I make the statement that today's NBA is all about the 3-point shot, I'm not exaggerating. Now, let's look at Ray Allen. Ray Allen, the number one, has taken the most 3-point shots in NBA history, 7,429. It's taken him 1,300 games. Steph Curry is at 6,210 in 740 games. Is this registering with you? 6,210 attempts in only 740 games. Ray Allen, one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time. He's got 7,429. It took him 1,300 games. That is insane. Ray Allen, who shot more threes than anyone, took 5.7 shots a game, made 40% overall. That's insane. So, 3-point shooting has only been a big deal in today's NBA. Never was it a big deal before that. Larry Bird, the great Hall of Fame Larry Bird, a top 3 player of all time, 897 games, and he took only 1,727 threes. That's insane. He averaged 1.9 3-point shots a game, overall 37.6%. For his career. That's insane. At his highest, he took 3 shots, 3 threes in a game. He did that 1, 2, 3 times. Larry Bird, one of the greatest shooters of all time, top 3 player of all time. He barely shot the 3. All right. I want to look at Pistol Pete, a player that unfortunately, sadly, many people sleep on him. As you can see, 3-point shooting didn't come in until the 79-80 season. I did not get to see Pete Maravich play, but there is video. And I have seen that he constantly took shots that would have been 3-pointers. So only God knows what his 3-point numbers would have been if he had a 3-point shot. Pistol Pete could shoot the ball. There's no question about this. So what would he have done? Unfortunately, by the time the 3-point shot came into the NBA, he was he was injured a lot up to this point, and 3-point shooting was something new, and he didn't get to take advantage of it. If only in his prime when he was healthy, if only the 3-point shot would have been available to him, what numbers would he have put up? Only God knows. So the big question is, who do I think is the best 3-point shooter of all time, and who are in my top 10? Honestly, I'd never given it thought, and I don't know who my top 10 would be. I do know Steph Curry, Del Curry, Ray Allen, Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, Glenn Rice. I do know they would be in my top 10. I know that much. But who would be number one? You see, here's what I believe. I believe Steph Curry was born at the perfect time. He was born with the opportunity to let the 3 fly. It's a focal point. Coaches, players, teams, everybody wants to shoot the 3. So Steph Curry taking full advantage of it, put in the work, and now he's known as the best 3-point shooter in the world. So congratulations to him. But if his dad If his dad was born today and he had the mindset of today's NBA player, of his son, for example, could Dell Curry be putting up monster numbers from the 3-point line like his son? Honestly, I think he could have. I really do. Ray Allen, if he was to put up 11 threes a game, do I think he could have put up monster numbers like Steph Curry? Yes, I do. If Pete Maravich, if the 3-point shot was actually a thing, do I think he could have put up monster 3-point numbers in his prime? Yes, I do. Larry Bird, if once again, if these players were transported into today's NBA where everything is the 3-point shot, it's all people care about. Do I think Larry Bird could have been putting up even more monster numbers than this? I do. Glenn Rice, Reggie Miller. I also believe, without a doubt, if they were playing in today's NBA, where they were allowed to take 11 threes a game, then they would be putting up monster numbers too. I totally believe that. But the fact is, they weren't given that chance. You see, when these players played, you had a thing called big men. They were centers, and every team had one. And you had a thing called power forwards. And these players, they stayed in the paint and they battled each other with post moves, being physical. It was beautiful to watch. It was real entertaining basketball. And then you had your small forward who would have a little mid range jumper, would slash to the rim. Then you had your little shooting guard and point guard running the offense, your shooting guard taking shots mid range. 3-point shooting was something that rarely happened. You may have had a good shooter on your team taking 1 to 3 shots a game at 3-point line. It wasn't even a thought. It just wasn't. It wasn't a focus. And honestly, when you have a Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, um, I mean, when you have players like this, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, or Sean Kemp, you're not really going to be thinking about 3-point shooting when you have these bigs to get the ball to. So just a different NBA. I can't stress it to you enough. I mean, look at the numbers here. In just 740 games, he's already taken 6,210 threes in just 740 games. That is mind blowing. That's mind blowing. So I can't compare today's NBA player with yesterday's. We look at a Dale Ellis. Dale Ellis could shoot the ball. Let's look up Dale Ellis real quick. I mean, Dale Ellis could shoot the ball too. But 3-point attempts averaged 3 a game, shot 40% for his career. Let's see. This dude played in what? I mean, dang, look at that. So, 1,209 games, he took 1,719 threes and averaged 40% making them. That is insane. Look at that. 1,209 games played, and he only shot 1,719. I mean, 4,000. I'm sorry, 4,266, and 1,209 games. That's insane. So that just I'm just trying to show you that it was a different NBA. And here's one thing I hate. I hate when people do this. Just because a player didn't play in a certain era doesn't mean they couldn't have played in a different era doing something different. So just because Dale Ellis, Dale Curry, even Reggie Miller, Larry Bird, even Glenn Rice, and other people, even though Pete Maravich, even though they didn't play in today's NBA, do you really think if they were transported in today's game with the mindset of today's player, with the green light of today's player, where even the coach is encouraging you to shoot threes, do you really believe that Ray Allen, Pete Maravich, Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, Glenn Rice, do you really believe that they couldn't have been putting up monster numbers at the 3-point line like a Steph Curry? I mean, let me know what you think. In my opinion, if you give these shooters 11 shots a game at the 3-point line, I am telling you for a fact they would put up monster numbers for a fact. So the thought that some people have that no one could ever shoot the basketball except Steph Curry. He's the only one that could shoot the ball. Before him, no one could shoot. Jerry West could shoot. Rick Barry could shoot. Elgin Baylor. So many players could shoot the ball in the history of the NBA. But the 3-point shot was not even a thing. So Steph Curry did not invent shooting. The difference is Steph Curry was born at the perfect time, the time of the 3-point shot. 50 years from now, when we look back on NBA history, we're going to refer to this time as the 3-point era, as you can see here. Never in NBA history has so many threes been taken per game, per month, per season in NBA history. Like I said, more threes are taken in a month in today's NBA than were probably taken in a whole season of yesterday's NBA. So you just can't compare them. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Have you thought about what I'm telling you? Have you thought about the fact that 3-point shooting wasn't even in the game until the 1979-80 season? Have you thought about what if players like Pete Maravich, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, have you thought about what kind of 3-point numbers they would have put up if they had 3-point shots? Obviously, they wouldn't have took more than 3 shots a game, as we know, but what kind of numbers would they would have put up? So we got Dale Ellis. What would have he have done with 11 shots? Pete Maravich, what would he have done with 11 3 points a game? What would Ray Allen have done? What would Dell Curry have done? What would Glenn Rice, Reggie Miller, Larry Bird, what would they have done if they got to take 11 threes a game? So I can't give you a top 10. The only thing I can tell you is in my top 10, without a doubt, you would see Steph Curry, Dell Curry, Dale Ellis, Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, Glenn Rice. Even though Pete Maravich, there wasn't a 3-point, I can't even include him in there, but I wish I could. So those guys definitely in my top 10. Ray Allen, if I didn't say him. Clay Thompson could be in there. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts. And yeah, so let me know what you think. Time to ball out.